Right, and we are back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you happen to be watching this Risco no Saka coming at you with Binding Isaac Rebirth, because apparently my internets did not want to support Doom. I do apologize. Now, I'm gonna figure out. I'm not gonna do it right now. That should have the LGBTQIA plus tag on it, and it doesn't, and that cheeses me off. Were we in the middle of a run? Oh, apparently we just started. Isaac is probably the most low stress game, I think, that I own. I mean, low stress as far as it's probably not going to put too much stress on the internets. I hope. Unless we get some completely hellacious combo. I am very disappointed about DOOT though. I was actually, like, I'd worked myself up to looking forward to that. I play Risk of Rain 2 when I realize I'm not doing anything. Isaac's definitely like my go-to just relax Zen game. I've been playing on an Afterbirth file pretty much all day today, trying to decompress from the last 5 days of news. In other words, you don't own Katamari Damacy. I do have Katamari Damacy on PlayStation 3, but unfortunately, I mean, it's on my PSN account, but I don't have the PlayStation 3 anymore, so it's kind of oh crap. Yeah, saw that happening. Oh, that sucked, by the way. Oh god. Please. Please go. Risk of Rain 1 is a bit less because it's so easy to lose runs in one. Yeah, no, that's fair. I can definitely dig that. Oh, you sneaky zombie. And by zombie, I mean ninja. Ninja zombie. It happens. Katamari Damacy is a fabulous series of games. But I still think that, We Love Katamari Damacy is still my favorite. Those mechanical spiders, yo, they are not to be trifled with. Spiders, in fact. And I keep on, like, darting my eyes around just in case this stupid roach is still running around. It's not even a popper roach. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry. Just cut my life into pieces, I guess. Roach jokes are the last resort. I had to count the amount of nods because I'm still 90% asleep. I dig it. It's... Let's see, East Coast is early morning. It's kind of late evening for you, kittens? If I recall correctly? It's 1 p.m. Wait, hold on a second. No, that's not a judgment I can make. Everybody's sleep patterns are really buggered up. I really should be the last person to ask why you'd be sleepy at 1 p.m. In fact, it would be extremely hypocritical for me to ask that. So I'm not gonna. Even if I woke up at 9 a.m., I'd still be 90% asleep until maybe 6. Alright. I mean, that seems like a fairly solid schedule. Do I want fish heads? I mean, I guess we got it now, so it doesn't really matter. what we need to unlock? Head meds are fun! I've never had subscription head meds, so I can't say 100% certain. And I'm pretty sure I can't talk about my experience without breaking TOS, so Isaac has not crashed yet. Has it? Oh, you... They're not allowed to be that sneaky. They've got bombs on their heads. I think Isaac is okay for right now. But like I said, I think Isaac's gonna put, just generally speaking, an awful lot less strain on the system. Isaac is great. Isaac is definitely an easy way for me to basically go into decompression mode, yeah. Well done, Misko. That was very clever. Now, could you do that again? Because I think that would just be genius. No? I bet we could. Darn it. I figured for sure we'd get caught up in that. My current one is mitrapazine, which has a side effect of making you feel very tired. That sucks. This does not sound like a desired side effect. I suppose that goes without saying, but... how do we work this out? Doom just finished installing. What does that even mean? I mean, obviously it means that Doom just finished installing, but... wasn't it already installed? Isaac gameplay looks claustrophobic to me, which is funny because I play Gungeon. I mean, it's a much smaller field, that's for sure. I'd sleep at least 10 hours to feel mostly awake, but that's not really feasible. Well, I started the download this afternoon, so maybe it was one of those things where like they pre-download enough that you can play like the first couple chapters, but it's not actually downloaded until later. Because I think, like, doesn't Batman do the same thing? Arkham City or whatever free one was on PSN a bit back? I wonder how big Doom is. I had to delete like a bunch of crap to get it on the system. I mean, all my files are saved because of the cloud save, but they make me feel so much better than not being on them, so I'd rather be sleepy than, say, a completely different person having hallucinations on the others that I've been on. I mean, if those are the choices, kittens, I'm glad that you're getting 10 hours of sleep. I guess to look on the sunny side of things. Yay! I myself would like to generally avoid hallucinations. Although mostly when I have any issues with that, it's just like, I don't know, like audio fucks when I haven't slept for a long time. You know, like how sometimes you'll kind of start picking up a signal in the noise that you know is not there. One of the worst hallucinations for me was seeing spiders coming out of my pillowcase when I was about to sleep. I would not have been able to deal with that No? That sounds basically like my hell. I've got a spider thing is the thing. In which case then I'm very glad that these meds are getting them sorted. Our not New York State, New South Wales Police Commissioner once, hold on a second, once again proves how out of touch he is. Well, I mean, he's a police commissioner, right? That's basically guaranteed. Although, what has our schloz nozzle done this time? Those are called hypnagogic hallucinations. They're common in people with narcolepsy, which I have, and so is a common symptom of sleep deprivation. Are you talking about the audio ones, or are you talking about the spider ones? Both. Oh, that was from Buttons. Sorry, Buttons, I mixed you up with kittens just because the topic hadn't changed. Narcolepsy is the one where you can just, I mean, you can just, but, like, you fall asleep without planning? Oh, they were a side effect of the medication. Yes, I think we can all definitely second that emotion. Every now and then things do get kind of scrolly, so it might be easy sometimes to kind of miss. Ooh! It's okay, Kronos. The progress will come when it comes. Hopefully when your eyes are not, like, kind of doing a whole number on you. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because my sense of time is completely trash, but Kronos, the eye thing has been going on for 2 weeks now? Is that right? I'm just wondering if there's a point where you go in for a, not like a checkup, but to tell the doctor that these antibiotics aren't kind of doing it. Narcolepsy is a neurological condition that essentially makes sleep and awake less distinct. Huh. Okay. I mean, I guess my knowledge would probably be more than we could really say about the topic. My image of narcolepsy is very much media dependent, which I highly doubt is reflective of actual experience. Please stop. Meaning the brain is close to sleep during waking, and sleep isn't restful because the brain stays close to waking during sleep. Huh. That's interesting. I've actually dealt with it for at least 2 months now. It was 2 weeks ago that I realized it's a real problem. Ooh. Kronos, you're making me worry a little bit here. Now, it's not your job to not make me worry, but most people think of Rat Race and such. In this case, I'm imagining that Rat Race is the name of some media property and not like the idiom Rat Race. Our police officer assaulted a 16-year-old Aboriginal boy who wasn't resisting arrest. During Reconciliation Week, in a country where over 400 indigenous people have died in police custody since 1991. I mean, I think, if anything we've learned this past week in particular, it's the cops are clown shoes. They're like the clown shoes gang. They're just a big gang of clown shoes. It's a film with a narcoleptic character. Gotcha. It was just a skin issue which I kind of shrugged off since it happens every now and then. But eventually, uh-oh, I can't see through my right eye. This is me herming, Kronos. I do remember you mentioning the skin condition, though. I can't tweet about it because that would be me tweeting about politics in a state where I'm unemployed in the public service, and that is fireable offense because public service doesn't have freedom of speech. That's a big mood, Hive. I don't want any of this though. I mean, that's enough, Kronos. That would certainly be enough to be worrisome. And that does suck about the not being able to speak about what's going on in New South Wales. That seems kind of common-ish. Not that it's excusable, but that kind of policy. Follow-up, that's the word that I wanted. Thank you so much, Hive. I'm losing my words. I don't really know how to feel about that. I mean, it's an ongoing process, so I really should be used to it by now, but... Well, Ludo, I mean, although you may have missed it, because... I mean, you don't always have the chance to come on. Kronos did go to the doctor and got some antibiotics, but it seems like they're just not doing the trick. Got an appointment slated for this Friday, but at the moment we're banking on either a virus or bacterial infection. I figured out what you're meaning there. Kronos, no worries. It's... Okay, I'm not gonna say that because it's not a joking thing. When everything is healed up, then I'll joke. So let me know. Hopefully it's the latter, because that gives me an excuse to clean my room twice. Oh, come on. That was cheap. I actually kind of, sort of cleaned my... Mostly, I did dusting. And I cleaned up stuff. it's about 90% less cluttered and dusty. I still have to do the bedroom though. The courts in Australia have ruled the Public Service Code of Conduct supersedes our freedom of speech protections because... Hold on. I'm gonna have to check out the lappy to see the rest of that. Damn it! Alright, hold on. I want to check that out. Courts in Australia have ruled that Public Service Code of Conduct supersedes our freedom of speech protections because ours is not the question why, ours is just to do or die. Can't be a good cog of the government if we're questioning the people running the government. Like, is that what they put down in the legal ruling? Because I could totally see them putting that down in the legal ruling. Oh, that was not intelligent. Just go. Why would you do that? We needed these pits. Cleaning actually paid off. I finally have a space for my anime figures on the shelf. There you go. Why must we take everything that explodes? What? Disco Love, what are you thinking? Really though, honestly, like, what are you thinking? Alright, so... we've got anime figurines, we've got really shitty police commissioner. Like, that seems kind of above and beyond shitty. Hive. More so than usual. And narcolepsy. I had this really nice Hamura figurine that I unboxed literally yesterday. I've had it for a year now. But if you take it out of the box, then you can never sell it on eBay. Well, you could probably totally sell it on eBay, but... Roar! Listen, adversary. I know, like, you got a whole thing going on here, but... Roar! Indeed! I'll just open commissions for art. That could be the next step, Kronos. No. Why do you kid? I mean, that's not a non-viable solution. Who was I following that said that going to commissions had really helped out her art a lot? I follow too many people is the problem. Oh. Hello, skin. Why are you coming off? Don't worry, it's completely sensible why that skin was coming off. It was a broken blister from a week ago. It probably sounded a lot creepier than it, like, actually was. Although it does remind me that I did repair my Chuck T's with duct tape. It didn't really work out that well. I'm gonna need to put more duct tape. Stronger duct tape, perhaps. Not as classy as I put it, but they did say the Public Service Code of Conduct mandates that we serve apolitically to ensure that we fulfill the will of sitting government regardless of party affiliation. So you're not allowed to criticize the government if the basis of your job is to agree to Public Service Code of Conduct. And this sounds like... that sounds dumb. Like, what if there's legit problems? Don't you want people criticizing? Do they at least have like a suggestions box that they empty out over the garbage? If it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Yeah. Although, I don't know, like, not to be overly cynical on Maine, but increasingly I have the feeling that none of this is actually broke. This is how it's intended to work. I mean, it looks stupid and inefficient because the intent is to make it stupid and inefficient. God bless it. Didn't genocide literally happen over there at one point? Yeah. There was actually... I didn't get to watch the timeline yet, but Hive put up a timeline of that type of thing in Australia. It should be in Kazi's general Discord or the resources Discord. So if you are interested in learning that history, that might be a good place to start. This all came about basically because a brave lady criticized government for policies that were killing people, and she got fired for it. Of course she did. Of course she did. Why would we assume that she hadn't been fired? This isn't about being inefficient, it's about suppressing criticism. Yes. Well, there was that story from, like, I guess it was 4 years ago. There was a cop in Buffalo that had complaints about how the department was being run. She tried to, you know, do the good cop thing, and she was fired for that. So that does seem to be a thing. I think William posted the timeline. Okay, I must have gotten my my brain meats crossed. The Discord. That way to go. That's a good one. The Discord is like amazingly busy right now, so I think I keep on falling behind on what people have actually put up. I can't believe I said Discord. I feel like such a child. But anyways, Kronos, that could be a resource. Oh, Brain. You're not allowed to be sleepy now, Brain. Thing is, I can't remember which policy that was killing people that she was complaining about. I mean, there's so many. The possibilities are nigh endless. I uploaded RO2 prismatic field, prismatic trial with one of the time chest locations a while back. I need to take a look at that, Kronos. I did notice that, I just haven't gotten a sauce excuse, but it is the truth. I keep calling my sister and a boyfriend Collie and Honor when I mean Holly and Connor. That's the mood I 100% understand. Mama. You know that good news I gave you about how the automated Social Security debt collection thing got scrapped and the government was going to refund people? Oh, jeepers. Why do I feel like this is going to be a psych moment? That's like the psych moment, not like mental health. Yeah, you wouldn't frame it that way. That was after the policy already resulted in... excuse me. Hive? I believe that you... Did you add an extra 0? Are we, like, straight up 2,000 people? I kinda don't know how to process that, actually. Sweet zombie Jesus. That's remarkably fucked up. Feels to me like I'm selling it short. At least 370,000 people are having their fake debt forgiven by the government. Well, at least there's that. Considering the way the UK government have killed a similar amount of people in similar ways, I can completely believe it. I mean, I can't imagine that the US government hasn't as well, but still, it's just one of those big numbers that my brain wants to reject. Well, I mean, you could call the government wildlife. It predates on people. I don't know if it's an apex carnivore, but it does seem to destroy the lives of anybody it comes into contact with. Like a hippopotamus, really. Or the government could be made up of dozens and dozens and dozens of poisonous spiders that are just filling a flesh suit. Because that's the thing that spiders do. Keep in mind the government knew there were errors in the debt calculation. Human service staff kept raising issues about how it was raising false debt. Government just didn't care because they wanted the government that got... they wanted to be the government that got a surplus at all cost. See? Although Kronos may be right, kittens. Like... The spiders in a suit probably have at least a rudimentary grasp of ethics. It doesn't seem like that's the case, here. It feels that way sometimes, Buttons. Reality and fiction seem to be doing this little melange thing. It's really quite disconcerting. Although I do feel like I've been basically living in an Onion headline since 9/11, so there's that. The government also considered expanding the program. Oh, genius. Like, that's the thing that we do. But again, I have to kind of wonder if these outcomes aren't ultimately what was wanted. I mean, it doesn't seem like the government has... Well, many governments have a particularly vested interest in the well-being of people who need welfare. And that's been kind of a forever thing. Hive, it's okay. If you gotta cry, you can cry. I mean... I think probably all of us have. At least on and off. This week in particular. Yeah. No, Kittens is absolutely right. I really don't want you to be beating yourself up, Hive. That's my job. Not to beat up Hive, that beat myself up, but you can really only have one masochist in a chat at one time. It's like there's a quota. Our current Prime Minister wants to prove to private industry that welfare is a safe investment for them, and so they're reducing spending. Definite mood, Ludo. I think a lot of folks are in the same boat. We are, at least to my mind, very uncharted territory. And like we were talking about, I guess last time we did Isaac, like last Thursday, that I really don't know where things go from here, but I'm certainly worried about it. You know what they say, the way to invest in people is to keep them in poverty. A Prime Minister also likely an advisor for the high-profile Pentecostal church. Oh. Like one of the cult of Mammon type of places? Prosperity gospel and all that bullshit? I don't have time to be sad anymore, I'm just angry 50% of the time and numb the other 50%. We are in accordance. Can Christianity just fuck off for about 500 years? Like just take a nap? 2,000-year run, probably feeling pretty tired, just can kind of just like fucking nap, really. I don't think that's asking a huge amount. Prosperity, yeah. No, I'm well aware of how the prosperity gospel works. It's pretty gross. Maybe like Eva can give it a nerd dap. It's a nerd dap. A dirt nap for like, I don't know, just like, I mean, yeah, just a couple of centuries. I'm not saying it has to go away forever. And the whole religion's gig is resurrection, right? Just, you know, Jesus can chill. The whole flock and congregation. I don't think they worship Jesus. I mean, I think they worship Mammon. I think they just put Jesus' name on it. I mean, I don't have a theological horse in that particular race. But, I mean, there's like, It's just gross. Not a comment in... I'm struggling with bitterness a lot lately. Sorry, not trying to spread it. Buttons, like... And this goes for everybody who's in chat or anybody who's watching on DVD. Brain, tongue, together, please. Anybody who's watching in VOD, like... Things are fucked right now. And I think... The scope of emotions that we're dealing with are going to be pretty negative for a while. It's okay if you've got to get something off your chest to say something in chat. I'm not going to get angry at you. We kind of mentioned the other time that the only thing that I ask is that if a description is of something particularly graphic, as far as violence, that we keep it as clinical as we can, just so that people who might be dealing with that trauma themselves don't need to deal with that. But I'm not gonna shake my finger at you and say like, oh well, you shouldn't feel that, or you shouldn't say that in chat. Because that would be shite. I'm pissed! Cause it's 2020, it's the year of the fucking rodent. That was supposed to be my year. All of our rodentia, we were supposed to have the good year. And we got, this whole year, it's been fucked. It's normal to feel drained and bitter. I'd say it's a healthy reaction compared to indifference. It's a normal reaction, yeah. Honestly, everything going on hurts right now. I can't blame anyone for being exhausted or bitter. Yeah. Like, kind of dovetailing up with what Ludo said, that's the normal. Rodents are resilient, so we'll come out of this. I mean, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Except maybe throwing this run. We can't throw this run. Alright. Just 2 more rooms. And we will have a silver heart and a map. No. Could you stop? That would be chill. Maybe next year, the rat flips calendar. Oh, that was not what I wanted. 13 years from now, I think. The lunar calendar is a 13-year loop, right? So this is my 2nd year of the rat in Osaka. Oh, come on, you didn't even give me... That was cheap. It's really easy to get sucked into shame over just having reasonable emotions. Thanks for reminding me. I don't have to stay there. No, you don't. Buttons. We're all, like, as cheesy as it sounds, we're all in the same spot right now. And we're all just kind of dealing with this as best we can. But there's nothing shameful in that. Why is this run going so slowly? Well, I mean, we didn't pick up much damage. That's probably it. I really just want a battery? A battery! Ooh! Fudge! Let's go! Damn it! Hi! F indeed. I'm gonna take a really quick pause because I do want to get some water down my throat. I think we'll do one more run, I think. But yeah, just give me a mo. I'll be right back. What did I miss? We've got poodles? Oh, no, that's a poodle. Where is Thomas these days? And Cult Master Monocle? I miss those boys. Ooh! Ooh! Woohoo! Federal judge struck down permits for the Dakota Access Pipeline even after COVID-19 precautions led to an unconventional day in court. That is awesome fucking news! Go Standing Rock! Thank you, Hive. I really appreciate you putting that in chat, because I probably would have missed that, because I've been trying not to look too much at Twitter today. I know that's slightly cowardly, but at the same time, like, it's kind of a lot. Svetikaru. Challenge Ha. Let's do Challenge Ha. I think we could probably wrap that one. I wish I could tear my eyes away from Twitter. It's exhausting, but it needs to be done. That's freaking slick, Hive. I want to go back just a mo to what you've just said, Kittens. And I understand the feeling, and I do think, in a sense, that you're right, that it needs to be done, but burnout is also a thing. I mean, you know this, I'm sure. I'm probably just preaching to the choir. I mean, if you make yourself sick off of it, though, like, it's not really gonna help anybody. I'm nothing if not resilient. I know my limits, so thank you, Kittens. I mean, y'all been here for me. It'd be pretty fucking shit if I didn't give a rat's patootie about what's going on with you. I mean, I am often pretty fucking shit, but not in that particular regard. There are no item rooms on this run, so I think... Ooh, PhD would be really nice. Thank you, Ludo. Sweet of you to say. Can we pick up 5 more coins? Fudge. Well, I don't think that we end up getting the PhD. I'll be okay. I have the privilege of getting back to normality once this round of protest is over. Black folks don't. That is definitely an understood mood. Although I do wonder how normal is going to be. As to your point that you're a coward, you're just exercising your limits, and it would be unhealthy to actively seek out something that harms you. Very useful quotes in this case, yeah. I'm kind of hoping that we can all put together a normal that's sustainable. I don't know how that happens. Oh, buggery. Buggery, buggery, buggery. Ooh. I want to think that something has to happen. Which is maybe just wishful thinking, but... Ooh, black can. Want that. The other thing is, like, you can still find pockets of normal or normality even in these protests. Well, like... Honestly, if the cops weren't fucking rioting, they would be fairly normal except for their size. Like, I've seen video of lead-ups to things going south, and it's just people having a demonstration. It's not a riot until the cops start throwing frickin' tear gas at folks. We also need to remember that under capitalism, the powers that be want you to tie your sense of self-worth to how much value you provide to the capitalist class. Yes. Yes, no doubt about that. Like where I am, there's so many people who are acting like COVID and the protests never happened. I'm saying this again more for white people than people of color. There was that picture. I mean, there's like a billion pictures on Twitter recently, but this one kind of stood out. There's like an open air cafe, and all these white folks like chilling in the open air cafe, while behind them there's like running from the cops. And if that doesn't sum things up, I don't know what does. For sure, like my boyfriend comes home every night and we play games, or he streams himself playing games, and I play something myself. Decompressing and having something for yourself is essential right now to avoid compassion fatigue. Yes. This is without any doubts. Otherwise, you just end up getting really twitchy, and that's not good. At least it's not useful. Not to anybody that you want to be helping, I suppose. I know this has been bothering my dog a fair amount, because this is kind of like his ballywick. Like social work and the whatnot. And he really can't be doing any of that. Between the age and mobility issues, like, yeah, going to a protest, like, wouldn't be a thing. I don't think there are any in my city. Well, my city, where my folks are living. LA had 8-hour-long Zoom call where the police commissioner invited citizens of LA to comment on what's going on, and they got shat on for... Hold on a second, I gotta read this. And they got shat on for 8 hours and heard repeated demands to defund the police, and were like, yep, cool, thanks. And then passed their... They passed the budget? Fuck's sakes. I heard from somebody that most of them had just had their audio muted, and heard citizens less and less. Is that true? I wouldn't be shocked, your boy. Like, that does seem... that seems like a thing that they would do. All of this, like, performative... where we're really listening to your concerns, hontoni, like, it just pisses me off. I struggle to protest due to my chronic pain and some mobility issues, so I do what I can from home. Getch. I don't know if there are protests still going on up in Tokyo. Although I do know that going up to Tokyo... God, I really should. It would be quite expensive to go up to Tokyo. But I don't wonder if maybe it would be... Well, I don't know if they're still protesting right now, but they were last week. I need to think about this. Because I also need to last until next month, until the unemployment comes in. Did I No, I must not have, because I think this was yesterday. I got the unemployment, looks like it's sorted. It's gonna be, they said it's gonna come in on next month, which is way faster than like the 6 months that it took the first time that I did this. And the stimulus package, the stimulus check, should be in this week. Yes. Would your smoking put you in a risk category for COVID-19? Considering that I smoke usually 2 packs a day, and I have for about 20 years, yeah, I'm gonna guess probably. But I don't know, like, I feel very boxed here. I feel like I really should be doing more, and I want to be doing more, but there isn't more on the ground to do. I do want to donate a little bit once the stimulus check comes in. That's one big thing that I want to do. But beyond that, and like sharing information and keeping people talking about it, there's not like a lot in Osaka. I don't want to nag you, especially because it'd kind of be hypocritical of me, but holy crow, that's a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm not proud. There's no pride in this. But usually if I'm working on a schedule, I smoke less. And I definitely smoked less when I was living with my ex, because she was not a smoker. But I do, yeah, I smoke a lot. It's not good. You can do more if you're alive and healthy. This is true. So we're trying to keep on the alive and healthy. Being able to get some of these bills sorted is going to be good. I mean, luckily I've had food. Although I have to say, recently I've really been feeling like making something that's completely a luxurious use of my ingredients. Oh, come on, it's gotta be Krampus. How about fuck you? How about fuck you, Krampus? Like, maybe steak and stir fry? It's been so long that since I've made a meal that wasn't intended to keep for like 2 weeks. I'm glad you're out of construction, because that caused your smoking to pick up, if I recall correctly. Yes, it did. Yeah, because the breaks were super long and everybody smoked constantly. I was lucky, but COVID scared me into smoking a lot less. I want to, Ludo. Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna pick up a bag of oranges. Like, honestly, you would not believe how much I've been just hankering for oranges. It's stupid. And then, I don't know, something that's just something I don't make very often. And it's got to be something that I can make, because like I don't want to go out to a restaurant, because even though the state of emergency is finished, it doesn't feel safe. Blood oranges. I wonder if I could find blood oranges here. I can find tangerines really easily, and I do love tangerines. Oh, crumbs. Yeah, that was me. But I don't know if I've seen blood oranges. I should get my ex's folks to send me up some tangerines. Like straight up from a mommy. They used to send us boxes of tangerines. They're so good. Nicotine chewing gum is not a solution, but a neat crutch if you want to lower your smoking. Part of the problem for me is not... Eat a raw lime! I mean, I do like lime. Part of the problem for me is it's not just the nicotine. Like, I mean, that's a big part, obviously, but there's something about the ritual of smoking that I really like, and I always have. And that's kind of a problem, because it's not just, like, getting over the physical addiction of it, but it's like, it feels wrong to not smoke, if that makes sense. Did it now? Okay, that is something to keep in mind. Do you know if there is some follow-up on the vaping-related health concerns? If I drink and I'm outside, I need a cigarette, man. Yo, like, for real, though? That is... I get that, like, 100% kittens. Chewing gum is also a ritual, and Freud would probably say something about oral fixation and then do a line of coke. And then he would brush off his own pipe smoking. Or cigar smoking. Whatever he smoked. I guess when you boil it down, like... Probably... I don't know enough about the vape. I do know that the US government panicked and like... Oh, that's a shit room. This is a shit room. What if you didn't have a bomb? Well, I understand Hive, and I'm imagine that Kittens does too. I think we're all just kind of looking out for each other. It also doesn't help, like, the text format. It takes away some of the nuance of voice. At least vaping comes in nicer flavors. My, the French dude I used to work at, the French dude I used to work with, he was a big fan of the flavor vapes. I don't remember which one that he liked the most, though. This run is... I know it's a challenge run, and I know that means that there's no item rooms, but it's kind of pants. This run is just a little bit pants. Well, they can't have, like, cartoon mascots anymore, Ludo. What do you expect them to do? These poor tobacco companies, they gotta turn a trick. That's only half in jest, but I do remember when those when the Joe Camel character disappeared. It seems absurd now that there's actually, like, a cartoon mascot for cigarettes. Just thinking about Schnufts, the bear, from a Jim Sterling podcast now. Is that one of the newer ones? I haven't watched any Sterling in a bit. kittens, like, trust me, it's cool. I know that the level of smoking that I do is above and beyond, even by smokers' standards, what is particularly smart. I do not think that you're being a nag, and I do not think you're being hypocritical. Wait. Hold on, I feel like I've missed part of the joke here. The anti-vape mascot is also a giant bigot? It seems like, perhaps? I'm not sure, like, what the high score is before you die. No, Ludo, I got that it was from Sterling. I feel like there's a mixed message, and I'm not sure how to parse it. Like, is the message supposed to be that vaping is okay? Because the anti-vape character is a bigot, and bigots are definitely not okay? I'm gonna be thinking about this a lot. That's the joke. It's basically a parody on anti-vape commercials that make people want to vape more. Oh my god, okay. No, now I get it. Now I totally dig it. Because every anti-smoking and anti-drug commercial that I've ever seen has just reinforced the idea that I really want to be smoking and doing drugs. It's a thing. That, the commercial, like, I think it's Jennifer Jason Leigh, Janet Leigh's kid. She was doing, like, an anti-drug commercial where it was, like, a send-up on the whole "this is your brain on drugs" thing. And usually the "this is your brain on drugs" where they, like, what do they say? They hold up the egg, and they're like, "this is your brain." And then they crack the egg into, like, a fry pan, and then, of course, like, the egg fries because it's a fry pan, and they're like, "and this is your brain on drugs. Any questions?" Except, like, her variant was, she does that part, and then she takes the fry pan and just smashes the entire kitchen, and she's like, "and this is your life on drugs. And this is your family on drugs." And, like, it goes on for quite a while, and she just wrecks the whole place. And I'm like, damn, that's so cool. It was the late 80s, early 90s. It made sense at the time. I'll see if I can't track down the commercial, and I'll put it in Discord. Or, well, the two Discords so that everybody can see it. This is very young. Janet Jason Leigh. Wait, am I getting the name right? The one with the dog is the one that stayed most. Like, shut the fuck up, dog. Let him light up. Like, is that the McGruff, the crime dog? Because McGruff, the crime dog, was a total cop. I do remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, where there's, like, it starts off, like, in media res, and there's this kid, he's walking down, like, the hallway, and one of his classmates rocks up, and he's like, "Hey, Joey, you want to do some marijuana?" And he, like, holds this doobie to the kid, and, And like the kid like freaks out. There's a freeze frame. And then they cut to a classroom where Michelangelo, animated, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle of fame and fortune, is like watching this on a video projector, like a movie projector, with a classroom of kids. And he's like, hey, Joey's in a jam. What should he do? And he asks like all the kids their advice. It's really bad. And then they cut back to like Joey and his answer to do you want to do like some doobies, being accused of being a chicken. He's like, I'm not a chicken, you're a turkey. And then he like gobbles at the kid and goes on with his life. It's very confusing. It doesn't track any of my experiences at all in school. We got star points, Ludo. Was it a URL? Because you'll want to pass the URL over to Hive, and then Hive can put it in chat. I remember seeing when I first got my PlayStation 4, and I noticed that there were actual like you could watch movies and commercials on the PlayStation 4, and I watched some of those anti-smoking commercials. The ones where like the cigarette pack turns into this kind of like origami John Carpenter's Thing / scorpion, and then injects like the scorpion tail in the kid's arm, and so now the kid's addicted to heroin because he was doing cigarettes, I guess. All I know is it's pretty badass. That probably would not have had the desired effect on me as a child. Yeah, we had to kind of see off some hordes of bots so we don't get tab links anymore because bots suck. What am I gonna do with the goat head? I've only got like one more floor. Love when Annie whatever adds make the thing look even cooler. Like, it's gotta be on purpose, right? There's no way that that could be an accident. If I recall correctly, we had this anti-drug program in the States. I don't know if y'all had it elsewhere. It probably did. It was called DARE. It was an acronym. I don't remember what it stood for. But I think there was a study that said that kids that went through the DARE program in elementary school were more likely to use drugs as they got older. I don't know why that would be, but it does seem to track with my experience. Drugs are really evil. I mean, perhaps. Drug and alcohol resistance education. Yes! Buttons, you've got it in one. I don't want a straight razor, it's garbage. Did they give you like... I don't know like what age you would have gone through. Did they give you the rulers that had like the drug names plus slang on the back of the rulers, except all of the slang was from like the 1970s? My favorite is every villain is lemons. Evil. But lemons aren't evil, Kronos. I love it when people say drugs and alcohol, like, as if alcohol isn't a drug. Good call, Ludo. Oh my god! That is so awesome! We're fellow Dare babies. Is SpongeBob a drug? Is SpongeBob a mimetic drug? I kind of like the art drugs, though. That actually kind of worked. SpongeBob was, fortunately or unfortunately, probably pretty well past my time. Because I think SpongeBob started after I went to uni. Because I remember my brother watching it when I came home one summer. Officer Friendly would come... Fucking Officer Friendly? They're clones. I swear to God, they're clones. Come and tell us how drinking alcohol would cause you to end up addicted to meth. Word? Okay, content warning eyeballs and trauma. We were told that if we did LSD, that we would have a complete freak out and then dig our eyes out of our head, because that's totally a thing that happened one time. And because it's totally a thing that happened one time, it's totally a thing that happens every time. Statute of limitations probably is long enough that I can tell you that this never happened. So that's a thing. Also, they told us the story that they were like really down, by the way, on LSD. Like, I think we spent as much time talking about LSD as we did all the other drugs. But they also told us that it would make you believe that you could fly, and then you would jump off the roof because you would think that you could fly, and you would jump off the roof. They were very vehement about this. The only thing that ever bothered me was pictures of teeth. They had like a poster of people's teeth, amphetamine junkies, and they were not nice looking teeth. Now there could be a lot of reasons why those teeth were not so good that didn't have anything to do with their drug use, but that's been a story they told since the 60s. Oh, LSD would give us schizophrenia. Yep. We may as well have been in the same class, Buttons. I'd say it's amazing, but really, honestly, it's just kind of stupid. I mean, LSD can give you schizophrenia if you have the right predisposition, to be honest. But that's just the thing, like, it's not a schizophrenia switch. It's if you have pre-existing conditions that it might throw things in favor of developing schizophrenia, I guess. Ludo's right, it's not a matter of will, it's a matter of could. I appreciate the fact that chat is filled with sensible people. I don't know if I could deal very well with insensible people. Oh, dare. Dare to push more kids to drugs, apparently. Could you, but also just die? Almost there? LSD poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses. bastard. I think I got the tail end of the DARE program in the late 90s. Yeah, so you would have been... Let me think. So I graduated high school 96. So 86. You would have been, I guess, maybe about 10 years off from me. So they were still like very much in the DARE program when I was in it. I wonder if my brother got the DARE program, because he's 11 years young. No, maybe not. Actually, he would have been too late. Lucky kid. Okay, I'm gonna check this video out after the stream, because this looks like it's amazing. We didn't have anything quite so overzealous here. We just had a police officer come in, show us some drugs, tell us some of the consequences that could happen if you took them. Sensible! That's a sensible policy. What a stream. I'm really sorry about Doom not working out. Now, as Kronos mentioned, like, that has happened before, so it was a very wild Doom session. So I've got my fingers crossed that the next time that we stream, it will be a little bit more forgiving. I don't know what I can do on my end as far as improving things. Like, I guess getting that splitter that Des was talking about, so at least we're not doing it Wi-Fi, we can wire it in, that might help out an awful lot. But that's not going to be until after the stimulus check comes in. I will attempt to do Doom tomorrow night, but we should keep in mind that it might go sideways again. I hope it doesn't, but it might. My mom was pretty mad actually, because the first time I saw her have a drink at dinner after DARE, I had a panic attack. I'd have preferred it without the pig, you know, but it could have been worse. I mean, we got the scare stories and the pig kittens, so I don't think you were getting out of it, I guess is what I mean. Folks, I had a really, really good night. I know that things are really stressful, and I know that there's that feeling of I need to decompress, but I also feel guilty for decompressing. Y'all helped me do that, and I hope that I helped you as well. There are a lot of resources that are going around recently to get a little bit more facts on the ground in the situation and what black folks and people of color are dealing with. I'm going to start putting some more up in the panels. I meant to do that today, but it just, a couple other things happened and I didn't do it. But I'll have that set for tomorrow, I hope. But that does wrap it up here for the evening. I hope that you all have just an absolutely fabulous, wonderful day and or night, depending on where you are. But from me, Risco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, arigasamryota, sayonara, see you, and ciao.